Hello, everyone, and welcome to Football Today with O.Phils and friends. And we're bringing you the Europe competition going on, UEFA Europe 2024, happening live in Germany. And today I've got two of my friends with me. I got Timile Yoni and I also got
Hello.
Adeshola. Can
Hi.
you guys introduce yourself properly? Let's start with Timmy.
Hello, everyone. My name is Timley, and I'm here today. Nice to be here. That's it.
What's that your team you support again?
Well, I support Arsenal, and I support the Super Eagles of Nigeria, and I'm a partial supporter of England, a bit more of Germany. Yeah.
Why you on our show? Let's go, Adeshola.
Hi everyone. My name is Adeshola, and yeah, on air I'll use Fadeboye, but yeah, this is just the beginning. So, and yeah, I support Manchester United. Obviously,
Boo.
greatness follows. Greatness knows greatness, and for the Euros, what team do I support? I don't really. Well, I would like to see England do well, but the team I think I actually support. I've been looking at some dark horses, and I was impressed with Georgia, so I would say Georgia.
Wow. Nice. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
We're just gonna be looking at England as a whole, like the three lions, and
Yeah.
we live in England, so anyhow we have to root for them.
Yeah.
I'm supporting England all the way anyway, and we'll be recapping on the match day one. You know, all the teams they've played their first matches, and so we go into it as quick as possible. I'll start with you, Adeshola. What do you think of England's performance for the first game, their game against?
Yeah, they were not as good as we all expected. But going into the tournament, I think I was even speaking with Tim, and we were like analyzing like the players in the England team, and how Southgate could field a starting 11. And to be honest, it's not an easy thing, because when we went into it, we realized a lot of these players have great individual quality. They are like elite players in every position. Basically, they have elite players in every position. But the problem is getting them into a team, into working as a unit, not just as individual players who are just good on their own. Getting them to work as a unit is very difficult, because they all have specific profiles which don't exactly like all align with each other. You understand? They are all specialists. Foden is a specialist in a particular area of the pitch. He's not exactly a normal creative player or a winger.
Yeah.
So if you give him like an exact system or exact space, is someone who likes receiving the ball and then within lines of space, within lines of defense, and that's what he excels in. Bellingham is someone who likes attacking the box, who comes in from deep. So they have different profiles of players, and it's quite difficult to. So I understand what Southgate is going through, but basically their first match was very underwhelming. A lot of us expected a lot more from them, especially the kind of team they were. A small team either, but England, we expected a lot, especially when they scored very early. They scored, I think, in the 13th minute. And then the match just went, like, first half, they were still, first 30, 40 minutes, they were still, like, in control, but then they just relinquished control gradually, and the game just, at least they won, so good for them.
Yeah, it's always good to win your first game in any tournament. That's a good start. That's a good starting point. We all know that they could have done better. Going to Timmy, what do you think Southgate can do with the quality of players he has in his hand right now? The formation or the system. What do you think he can do better to make us see a better English team?
I think firstly, in tournaments, in the league, tactics win you league. You know, tactics win you league. You need to be very highly tactical. Highly tactical. But however, when you talk about international tournaments,
Yeah,
when you talk about like even the Champions League, it's more about balance, giving your best players the balance. And this is what you see a team like Madrid, what they do, a team like Germany, what they do, a team like France, what they do. So, and that is what Southgate failed to actually do. This is what Southgate has always failed to do. You can have the pack of players, but getting the best out of Saka, getting the best out of Harry Kane, getting the best out of Bellingham, getting the best out of Rice is very important. So I think one of the things he has to do is get back the two double pivots, remove Alexander Arnold. It was total. That means the word crap in that game. The idea behind Alexander Arnold was to flick passes, but come on, it doesn't work that way. They were lucky actually. If they play against a team that is very good in transition, they would have punished them because a lot of passes it missed them. A lot of times when they were transitioning from attack to defense, Alexander was completely lost. Positioning, it was a very big problem for him because he's not a natural midfielder. To play in that position, you need a lot of things. And this is what Southgate needs to do. Bring in Rice, use Moino or what's the other guy's name? That guy from Aston Villa, Watson. Any of those two guys or Gallagher, and try to, because when your midfield is overrun, it becomes a problem. That's was problem they had. Their midfield was overrun and they became passive both in defense and attack. So Southgate has to find the right balance, just like Additional was saying, the right balance between his best players, giving them the space to attack, giving them the space to do what they are best at doing. Saka is at best when the ball is on his feet, when he can go after a player. Foden is best in between those boxes. And then you have somebody who has pockets of spaces. You have somebody like Gordon who can run the entire length of the field. He needs to be able to use those guys in the right way. You have people like Bellingham who has the capacity to be a box to box, hold the ball, lay passes, and be a threat also in the box. Then Harry Kane as well. Harry Kane is more of a finisher and a linker. So these are the things that England really needs to do, and I really doubt them being able to do it because I don't know. I've not been convinced for the past 5 games that I've seen England play. It's terrible.
Well, this is the third tournament, and I think this is the third time that Southgate has been taking them, and he always takes them far. So I'm still backing him.
When we talk about far, sorry to cut you. When we talk about far, you need to look at what type of oppositions have they faced. All the two tournaments they faced, the moment they face a proper opposition, they falter, they break into pieces. That's the truth.
Well, I will not agree with you on that 100% because when we talk about tournament game, anything can happen. We've seen it before.
To be honest, I agree.
Look at the World Cup. People are coming like, I'm coming there to show off. Each country are coming to win. They're not there to just sleep. So every game is difficult. Well. That's what I'm saying. Every game is different and very, very difficult. So for them to be going that far, I believe he's doing something right. Let's just support them. Let's support them. I get your point. Everybody has their own concerns about the formation, about the tactics, about the strategy and everything. But nevertheless, let's still support them.
Sorry to cut.
Okay, go on, Additional.
I'm not exactly sure it's for me the biggest problem was not exactly using Arnold in midfield, because Arnold has had some experience this season playing in midfield with Liverpool, even though like he just steps into the midfield position, but he's more comfortable like where he has always played all his life at right back basically, but he has in instances moved into midfield, so it's not exactly a thing of position. I think it's just a thing of him being coached to know where exactly to be in moments in the match. I think the bigger problem is Foden playing as a winger on the left wing. Foden is not a left winger. Anytime he plays.
No. You see, I don't want you to watch. I do not want you to watch the game and look at the game holistically. It is true that Foden did not have the impact that you want him to have. But when you look at the game holistically, look at this pocket. Foden there's a reason why Foden was left in that game all through. The reason is it was occupying some spaces that we don't often see. Those spaces that it was occupying actually allowed people like Bellingham and Harry Kane to also attack some spaces. So Foden's role in that game was different. Arnold's game, if you look at them, immediately England scored that goal. They became passive in passes. Their passes were passive. There was really nothing reasonable in their passes anymore. Passive passing, passive defending. At the end of the day, what happens to you? You are going to be attracting the opposition, and you are literally putting everything on the line. Arnold cannot play. He's not that intelligent. That's the truth. He's not that intelligent to play.
Wow.
Yes, you have people. The midfield is the most difficult place in the football to play. Your positioning is important. You cannot misplace passes. You can remember Arsenal, Tottenham. Jorginho came in, misplaced just one pass, and Tottenham scored. And that was the end of the game. That's the way it is. He can't play there. There are better players. That's just the point.
That was his first time, I mean, like in a major tournament. So don't lash him like that. What I would say is because he's always facing the opponent. But at that game, sometimes he was backing, so he kind of, it's a different role for him.
That is what I'm saying. He's not a midfielder.
He doesn't have the O.Phils ahead of him.
Exactly. He's not a Philip Lahm. He's not a Philip Lahm. And then you look at Liverpool's game style. It's completely different from what England was to play. I mean, it's completely different. That's the point. It's completely different.
All right, let's move on. Let's do a quick recap on all the groups from Group A to Group F. All the groups, they played their first matches, and some games were really, really, really interesting. So let's start with Group A. Germany, Scotland. Jimmy, what do you say to that game?
Well, it was expected there was going to be a bashing. First of all, Germany plays as a team. It's still the most technical team in the Euros. Scotland has not won a game in a competitive match in 28 years, so you don't expect them to win against Germany. And Germany really played quality football. Of course, in the past, Germany has had issues with them playing as a team because just like what was happening in England, they had those issues. But at the same time, Germany played as a team. You could see the movement of those players. They have elite players who can kill you at every single moment. I mean, at every single snap. The transition was very good, sustained pressure. The volume of passes from their midfielders was crazy. When you look at people like Toni Kroos, it's just in another world completely, So I mean, it was expected anyways. It was expected. That's the point. Let me just say.
It was expected for Germany to win,
yeah.
but the manner in which they won was crazy. 5-1, like they completely blew Scotland apart, and I did not expect, especially like the first game of the season, I expected Scotland to like come being pragmatic, like. It's the first game of the tournament. You don't want to be the one to like.
You are expecting a team that has not won in 28 years.
No, I expected it to get a Germany win, but probably 3-1, 2-0, something more measured. 5-1 to open the tournament. was crazy.
I would say the red card also had a great impact on the game.
Yeah, understandably, but what time was the red? Let me look.
That was then when they scored the second goal.
Without the red card, that was at the second when they said the second goal.
Okay,
but if you look at the game, you would realize that the game was already going in a way that Scotland was going to lose more than 2 goals. It was obvious.
You can't say that. This is football.
They were literally chasing the game. I know it's football. I know it's football. I know we are saying there are uncertainties in football, but we cannot keep saying that. When a team is more superior technically, when a team is more secured, attacking spaces, sustaining pressure, defending their boxes, high volume of passes, wonderful rotations between players. I mean, they did not have answers to Musiala. Musiala was literally all over the place. Vest was literally killing them in every single moment of the game. Havertz's movement was a big problem for them as well. So when you look at that, we cannot say nothing. We know once we see that this team is dominating, this team has scored the first goal,
I
they scored
was
the second
trying to
goal.
say
And
that it might not be, the goals.
They could have changed
like
things
that.
in the second half.
It might
How?
not be as wide as that.
This
The
same
5-1 was crazy.
Germany has been known to be very ruthless.
That's the thing about Germany.
In
Once they start, they never
2006
stop.
World Cup, they beat Saudi Arabia 8-1. They didn't care. The next time they met Brazil, they beat Brazil. Was it 5-0?
7-1.
7-1.
The World Cup final now.
Yeah. Germany is ruthless, and they've always been like that. So
I did not just expect it, to be honest.
Yeah,
the starting.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised.
5-0.
I'm not surprised.
I was a bit surprised.
5 was a lot.
And for all of their attacking this in recent years, Germany has not been that giant.
Exactly.
Do you understand?
In the past,
this is the first tournament that it looks like they are going to actually like do something serious again. That this is Germany that we've always known. In the past 2-3 tournaments, Germany has not been themselves. They've been a sleeping beast. So now it looks like they are awake to this match as well. They won 2-0. So and it was quite comfortable. So Germany is
you're
more
already
to
going
watch.
to match day 2.
My bad.
Hungary and Switzerland. That game, I was rooting for Hungary to play well because they have Szoboszlai. But looking at the Switzerland team and their bench, I was like, wow, these guys, they still got players, and they really surprised me. Adeshola, what do you see to that game? Switzerland, Hungary.
I only saw a recap. I didn't watch the full match, but how Switzerland dominated Hungary was very unexpected. It was not. I didn't expect. Like I expected it to be because there are two teams of. Although Switzerland has like more standout quality, like more like known players, I expected they are still similar in terms of quality and in terms of standing. And I expected like it to be more of a drab meeting, but alas, it was it was another crazy one. What was the final score line against it? I think it was 3-0.
It was a 3-1. It was a 3-1.
3-1. And it's Switzerland is a good team. Shaqiri is one of their main players, and in the whole of the match, basically he delivered. They just scored like their first goal. Immediately they got their first goal, they just like took complete control of the match. They had more shots, more possession, everything was just in their favor, and they completely outplayed Hungary.
The next game was Spain, Croatia.
Can I quickly say something about the?
Okay,
I just wanted to comment. I just wanted to say that the game against Hungary, one of the players that Hungary could not have an answer to was Xhaka. Xhaka was actually the main reason why Hungary actually lost. Hungary is a very good team, but Xhaka was just 100% tackles win, 100% long passes completed, 91% pass accuracy. He had 79 passes. It was just unplayable in that game. So, and a lot of times, Xhaka is very underrated because we don't see what he does. But when you look at the game holistically, you see how Xhaka connects the team together, and that was the problem. Hungary plays more as a team that transitioning team. They want to get the ball, transition to transition. It's something that can win you games, but when you don't have the technical superiority, you might not be lucky, and that's what's happening to Hungary. If a team like Portugal plays like Hungary, oh my God, it's going to be really deadly. But they only have Szoboszlai and Salah, and I don't think it was good enough. Yeah, I don't see them getting out of the group anyways.
No, it's not.
Yeah, actually.
Spain, Croatia. I was looking forward to that game.
Yeah.
Everyone
saw
was,
the
to be
result,
honest.
when I saw the result, it was really, really
uh,
disappointing. Should we give it up to Spain, or should we say Croatia didn't turn up?
Croatia turned up, but key defensive errors just cost them the game. The first goal, their right back, what's his name again? I've forgotten his name. Their right back made a crucial error. He saw that attack, and that's what
Sutalo.
spotted.
I think it's Sutalo or something.
Yeah, no, not Sutaro. Sutaro is the two. Oh yeah, I think it was. And when I was watching the game, I realized that, and I was looking at the
Okay,
game.
so Stanisic.
Stanisic, yeah. So now what Croatia did, Croatia came with a game plan of sacrificing more numbers in defense for attack. And what happens to you in that game, in that kind of situation, is you see what happens to Burnley in the league. When you lose the ball, you have to be able to defend those spaces that you are leaving out. And they could not defend it properly. And they were punished 3 times. They could have been punished more times. The right back went forward. He was occupying the space in the middle. He inverted a little bit. This guy was already running, and he saw that run. He should have gone back, but he kept on waiting. By the time he realized it, it was already too late, and it led to this guy Murata free on goal, and he took the goal. The second one was also an individual error. The third one was a group error as well, defensive mistakes, and it led them to losing the game. But they're a very, very good team, unfortunately.
They've been a good team, but
In this kind of
we'll
tournament,
get back to them.
yeah, in this kind of tournament, you get punished by every single mistake, and that's why I was talking about England and making those experiments. You get punished.
Do you think Croatia could
And then
still
they
make
could
it out of
not
the
take
game?
they could not take advantage of the chances that they had.
And they
They
had,
had
yes,
brilliant chances as well, but
yeah,
I don't know. I don't know. I don't just know. Probably because they didn't start Perisic. I think if they had started Perisic in that first game, we would have been able to like give in better crosses, and it would have given them a different dimension to the way they played. But it did come in second half, and still they still could not do much because the game was already done at that point anyway.
yeah,
After the first half, the game was done, and so them coming in was just like to other players like Perisic coming was just like to just mitigate and at least try to fight
yeah,
back,
yeah,
and
yeah.
the game was done at that point, so they could not even get anything out of it. Considering 3 games in a tournament in the first half is very hard to come back from, even in club football. So once Spain had scored 3, it was most likely going to just be a sail through.
Yeah,
Because of
absolutely.
our time, we need to rush now. Italy, Albania. I think that was the game Albania scored first, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
It was
Yes,
a shot, I
absolutely.
think 53 seconds or so.
Yeah,
In
fastest
15
goal.
minutes. I was like, wow, come on, Albania, let's go. But Italy showed us like, no, you're joking. What do you guys see to that?
I think Italy were also lucky in that game as well. And they are too light as a team, in my opinion. They're just way too light. And
In what sense?
in terms of the way that they play, in terms of in terms of the way that they play in general, I feel they're just too light. And if Italy meets a proper team, I think their team will crumble. They are relying too much on individual abilities. They're relying too much on individual abilities. So if they meet a proper team that creates a low block against them, I think they will find it very difficult against Spain.
Sorry,
Spain,
Timmy. Don't forget the last European tournament. Italy started, they were not playing good as well.
yeah, they started off light as well. Yeah, that's true.
So
I'm saying it based on what I saw.
Don't rule them out already.
No,
If they face
I'm not
somebody like
absolutely.
Spain.
I'm not really about against Spain, against. I think Spain will not go far as well. That's just my opinion. Yeah, they are too passive. When you see their passes, they are very passive. Their defending is very
It's
passive.
only one game, bro.
We can judge based on what you have done, in my
No,
opinion. Except they
in
improve.
tournaments, they grow in games. Teams grow
Let's see.
in games.
Let's see if they grow again. Let's see.
Possibly, yeah.
Let's see.
All right, let's move on. We're speaking about Serbia and England.
Serbia.
Yeah, it was Serbia in England, isn't it?
Yeah, Serbia, England. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even at the opening, I thought I was Slovenia.
To Serbia, actually. Yeah.
So Serbia. So Slovenia, Denmark, was 1-1.
Yeah. Ericsson coming back from the dead
Everything,
after
yeah, that's it.
after a while, and
Yeah,
he's still showing. He's still like their maestro at
Yeah.
Denmark, and he delivered. He tried, and they ended up drawing the game, but it was a good watch. This Euros has like impressed me, to be honest. A lot of the games have been very attacking, and if you have been on Twitter, people have been saying thank God Guardiola has not killed the game, because normally if it will just be tactics, everybody like trying to beat themselves and everything being so rigid. But we've seen a lot of flexible play, a lot of different things, different tactics, not just one way of playing. So it's been interesting to see.
Yeah, I agree.
Netherlands, Poland. That was another interesting game.
Oh,
I think
Netherlands.
Poland scored first, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember vividly, but I just knew.
Yeah, I think it was also a
that
wonder
was
strike. I think.
And
Yeah.
towards the end of the game,
Vegas
came.
the Man United outcast.
Well, they still made it through. They made it through. Now, did any of you see Austria France?
Austria who?
Austria France.
Yeah, I did.
How was it? I just heard about it like
It was a fantastic game.
What I heard about the game, I didn't watch it. That Mbappe got broken nose. That was the headline.
Yeah. It was a very
unfortunately,
fantastic
but
game.
I think to be honest, it was a very, very good watch.
Yeah.
Austria, like I was very impressed with Austria's with their gang pressing and everything. It proves again that this guy, what's his name? Their manager, what's his name? The coach Manu for a while. Ragnick. Yeah, Ragnick is not done. The fact that the stint here at Manu was not too great, but he's still a very good manager, because for a team like Austria that doesn't have any player of standout quality, like they don't aside Baumgartner, I don't think they don't have any other like attacking player. Even their main name, David Alaba, is not in the tournament. I think he got injured, and still they were able to still go toe to toe with France. France is like one of the best. They have one of the best teams in this tournament, and they were able to go toe to toe. And for me, in a way, they outplayed what?
One of the favorites to win the tournament.
Yeah, one of the favorites to win, and they were able to go toe to toe. I think they are just missing a standout winger or somebody who can just create magic. But they're a very good team. They play as a unit, and that's very, very good to see that he has been able to get all of them playing as one. I think they could go far, but I doubt, because they don't have anybody who can just win them a game if things are not going well. But it remains to be seen.
It's a very tough group. Talking about Netherlands, France, I think Poland. So hard for them to get
If you are playing against a team that is much more technically better than you, or have better players, one of the things that you have to do is to go man to man against them and defend very aggressively with your man to man marking, and which it deals with a lot of discipline, defensive discipline, and players that can run, players that can be smart enough to know when to draw back, when to defend, when to tackle, or when to occupy some spaces, and which they really did well. I think their defensive discipline. And this is one of the problems that happens to a team that is transition based like France, and I hope they're able to learn from this and also find better ways to win games. But
it's also due to kind of wingers they have. They have Mbappe and Dembele. They have very quick wingers, so you have to exploit
Yeah,
those
yeah, yeah.
qualities. And
Absolutely. I agree with you. Yeah, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
let's go quality players.
Yeah.
The shock of the tournament so far, Belgium against Slovakia.
They were just
Belgium
unlucky.
Belgium is not just a serious team. I don't think it's just luck. They are not just serious, to be honest, because De Bruyne, as good as we say he is, he created chances. To be honest, they had chances to score, and that's why I'm saying they are just not serious. But it could have just been an off day for their big players. Lukaku missed quite a number of opportunities, and they were unable to still break down Slovakia enough. And I would still argue that Slovakia even deserved the victory. They scored early in the game in the 70th minute, and they held on with all of Belgium's pressing and trying. Nothing just seemed to work for them. So yeah, and it did not just work out for them. So I would still gauge them based on the second game. Let's see how their second game goes before I get enough to say about them. But they didn't do it well enough.
Sorry, Alicia, I didn't hear you.
I said Belgium did not do well enough, and I'll leave any judgment till any proper judgment till they play their second game, and I'll see how they do.
They'll be playing Romania next, I believe. Romania,
they should win that match. If they don't, then obviously if they don't, it's even game over.
The way Romania played against Ukraine, a lot of people were
Ukraine is not a serious team. Let's leave Ukraine out of it. I've always said that.
It's not a serious team. Ukraine is not
It's because it's not war.
I never said Belgium is not a serious team. I think that Belgium
is said that.
Yeah,
no, I think they are not actually.
That is his own opinion. In my own opinion is that they've been unlucky for quite a while now, and then also when we look at some players and look at their individual qualities, we expect them to play so well in their national team, like De Bruyne. And I looked at him, I looked at his behavior, I looked at the way he was laying a lot of passes and he was completing a lot on the pitch, so I could understand that, well, it's not the same quality from where you are coming from, Man City and the likes of it like that. But then they got a lot of chances. Lukaku he has lost his previous form, and so it wasn't that good. The goal that he scored, I remember Doku was culpable in that goal as well. But it can happen to any team. So just like Adeshola said, let us wait for the next game. But when you're talking about Romania and Ukraine, I've never seen Ukraine as a good team. To be honest, in my own opinion, they've never been a good team. Never.
I was just not expecting 3-0 from Romania.
The thing was that
they played woefully. After the Scottish game, the Ukraine team is still the performance in terms of woeful performance. Scotland, then Ukraine. So
I didn't watch the match, but from the start I can see Ukraine actually had 65% possession. They had 14 shots.
They played better in the
so it seems they actually controlled the game, but Romania were just hitting them on the counter and they won. And I don't think Ukraine has that good of a defense. They are not that solid in the back, but well, maybe it's a word that
let's see what happens in the next game. Yeah.
The next game was Turkey, they called them now, and Georgia. 3-1 to Turkey. That was when that young boy from
Adagula, very fantastic player. Yes. Such a bright star. And I think right from time, I've always liked the way Turkey plays as a team. They've always had these individual players who can create something out of nothing. And that was one of the things that really helped Turkey. But let's see, because we cannot, like you said before, we can't judge a team by just one performance. And let's see how Turkey plays against another team that is a bit. Portugal is such a fantastic team, but we'll see what happens.
I'm just going to hammer on what Timmy just said. So I think I mentioned this earlier as well. So even if you are good as a team, as a unit, Turkey is a team that is very has a solid unit. But the fact that you just have players within your team, within your squad that can just deliver something special. They have Çalhanoğlu, they have Adagula. So players like that can just spring up surprises, and it's that's what actually allowed them to win that match. Georgia played well as a team. Kvaratskhelia has been in that match. It was nowhere. I don't think he even completed any dribble. So he's not the Kvaratskhelia of 2 seasons ago, and it's so sad to see. Hopefully, he's able to turn up in the next one. But this match, this Turkey versus Georgia match, was like one of the standout matches so far. It was end to end, quality all through, good play. It was very exciting to
Till
watch.
the end, they were still looking for goals, and it was entertaining.
That's the beauty of football. That
So
Turkey were just good, and having extra quality always helps. And basically, that's what they won on. To be honest, there was nothing more separating them.
The game we
Yeah.
on PC, then they had this last minute counter.
Yeah, that last minute counter just killed everything.
Go, the third goal.
After Koglu.
Sorry? The last game was Portugal Czechia.
So for Portugal, I've always been wondering about a lot of things about this Portuguese team. It's a very fantastic team.
Yeah,
They have so many players. When you talk about, like what he was saying, players that can, when a game becomes transition based, for example, the World Cup final, it became transition based, and now it's no longer about your tactics anymore. It's about what your players can do with a little space, you know, with creating moments of magic.
Yeah.
Portugal has that. However, my problem is, you see, how will they using Ronaldo is a blessing and a curse at the same time for them.
Actually,
He's a blessing and a curse.
I agree with that.
Yeah. Now, a team when Portugal plays a team like Georgia, a team like Romania, all those kind of teams, the tactical issues might not show up because they don't really need to dig deep. They don't need to defend deep. They don't need to press from the front. But when they play against France, France has defenders, midfielders that can pass, that can hold the ball and everything like that. You need your center forward to press from the front. It's going to be a big problem. When they start to become very transition based, Ronaldo misses a lot of chances. Ronaldo does a lot of things on the field and you just look, what's wrong with this guy? You know, I want to see how Portugal will be able to manage the situation better. That's it for me.
For me, Portugal is quite a decent team. In that game, I think it was personnel issue because he used a 3-5-2 if I'm not wrong, or was it 3-4-3? But I think
3 at the back anyway.
Yeah, he had 3 at the back. I think he used Nuno Mendes as an LCB, and all of that. That I think he should try to put more attackers because in that first half they only had Leao and Ronaldo. Bernardo Silva is not an elite winger. In himself is an elite player, but like Foden too, he has moments, he has places on the pitch where he excels in. So putting him on the wing doesn't really work, except maybe you are allowing him to just go in to the back post, like the way sometimes Guardiola employs him, like just target specific spaces. That's where he excels. That's where I've seen him at his best. So just using him he's not really a controller or anything. I think the fact that they didn't even have a proper DM. Vitina is not a DM, he's a CM. So he used
They have
let me see again.
They have players that can actually they have Polia, they have
they control the game though, but they could not, like, there was no incisiveness.
You're expecting better.
Portugal will always control games, but they have an issue as well. Players like Bruno as well will not let you control games. Bruno is a fantastic player, he's a top quality player, transition based, very top quality. But when you talk about controlling games, you have to cede control to the opposition when you play somebody like Bruno. One way to solve that problem.
I don't agree,
hold on. One way to solve that problem, solve the problem with Portugal. I understand what you're saying about Portugal. You've forgotten also that Rafael Leao is a bit lazy. It's just like the Rashford of AC Milan as well. His defensive contribution is also very little. So you have somebody like Ronaldo, you have Leao in a team, it becomes an issue. But then they have people on the bench who can actually do a lot, like Pedro Neto. That guy is that guy is a killer.
Honestly,
Yeah,
he
he's a
can
killer.
just spring. He's a magical player. Can just not from out of nothing. He can create something.
So now on the issue of Bruno is a top quality player. But now let me give you an instance. Manchester United against Manchester City. Manchester United gave Man City a lot of problems. Why? Bruno played as a first line. Oh my God. They could not just phantom that guy. The guy was unplayable through that game. The same way, if you look at Manchester United's last few games before the end of the season, Bruno became very unplayable. Why? Because of the spaces he could occupy on the pitch, because of the runs he could make, the places he could get the ball. But when you talk about control, Bruno will not give you control. Bruno will give you proper transition. Bruno will help you to attack the box properly, but you cannot control. If they want control, then they have to do Polea. João Neves, that João Neves is out of this world. That boy is fantastic. Polea, João Neves, and Bernardo. Oh, no midfield will be able to overrun them. They will dominate games.
I'll do you one better.
But then,
okay.
But then, when you now have Bruno, I tell you, we don't have the time to actually analyze this thing. I don't want us to waste time on it, but just understand. Yeah.
Just let me. I kind of agree with what you said, but for me, the difference is that I don't think they can control with Bruno. I think Bruno's best qualities are shown when he's upper up the pitch, when he's just.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
So that's why I agree with you. But it's not like you can't control. They were still able to control the game, but there were no people. You won't see the best of Bruno if he's the one like taking passes from the back. Do you understand? So that they should have used Palina and João Neves. That's the setup was for me wrong. But Bernardo Silva, honestly, if you are using, he's an elite player, but for me, it doesn't
not on the wing.
I just think they have a lot of similar players, just like England. They just need to balance it. They need to bring in the base of the team so that it could be balanced. If you look at Ronaldo doesn't even want to stay in number 9. He wants to fall back as well, as soon as he.
Those are the part of the problems. Those are part of the problems.
Bernardo Silva, same thing as
Bruno
Fernandes. Yeah. So they have the problem of balance as well.
Yeah.
For me, that's I'm even looking at the setup like this. The 3-5-2 did not just work. Diogo Dalot as RCB, Ruben Dias as LCB, then Nuno Mendes and João Cancelo as the wing backs, then Bruno Fernandes, Vitinha, and Bernardo Silva. You can't really, as much as you have the ball, you won't be able to like create real chances. So many chances against a team that they were against Czechia. Czechia is not that great a team, but they were unable to like really blow Czechia apart. You'd expect with the quality they have, they would be able to at least score 2-3 goals.
Because Czechia was ready for their shenanigans. They defended very well. Czechia defended really well. Really well.
He got the setup wrong. The players on the pitch. Yeah.
All right, let's move on because of our time. Which group has impressed you the most? Like when you look at that group, you're like, wow, this is fire.
To be honest, I would say the German team. The German group.
The group.
Group. Yes, I would say the German group. The Germany group. Yes, group. Is that group A?
Yeah, that's group A.
Yes. Yeah. Let me just to be sure.
Yeah, Germany, Scotland, Hungary, Switzerland.
Yeah, it's been a roller coaster in that group. Because even the guys, apart from Scotland, that didn't really show. No. I'll go for Group B rather. Sorry. Let me go for Group B because Albania has shown. Albania has shown that they are not a pushover.
To be honest,
they've made it difficult. They've made life difficult for whoever they've played against. Same with Croatia. They were unlucky against Spain. Made some crucial errors and became a big issue. Now we have Spain, Italy, which is going to be a very big decider. If any one of them lose Spain, Italy, between Spain and Italy, it's going to be difficult because if Croatia ends up beating Albania, there's going to be 4 points. and that's going to mean that whoever is losing against Spain and Italy is very vulnerable. So I think I like that. I like that group, and it's one of the top groups now. It's very interesting.
What about you, Adisha?
I'm just looking because they have not yet played the second games yet. But for me, what's in that one group I'm looking at is the Netherlands, France, Poland, and Austria group. I'm very interested to see how it pans out. Austria, for me, they played very well against France, as I've earlier said, and it's just for me that's the group I'm looking at. It's kind of the group and a group of death. I know we called Spain, Italy, Croatia group the group of death. For the group D is also one that I'm closely looking at. Any of the teams there could still pop up something. Poland is not also a pushover, and Austria have proved that they can also go toe to toe. So Netherlands, France are already on 3 points. Over the next week, we'll see how it pans out. I'll be able to, but that's one group I'm looking at.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that group F, Portugal group, Czechia, as we said, the way Czechia played. Turkey, you can't just write them out as well. Even Georgia. So that's the group for me.
Yeah, I agree with you.
They just need
What about
Kvaratskhelia
I
to
think
turn up.
you mentioned your game of the of this first round. I'm not around.
Yeah.
Turkey
versus Georgia.
Was it Georgia that played again?
Yeah, Turkey versus Georgia.
That 3-1 was it was Georgia.
It was end to end. It was so exciting to watch.
What about you?
Yeah.
Same.
I would have said Turkey, Georgia, but I like tactics when a team wins with you know. I'm not going with.
It's one of the tacticals.
I'm not going to because end to end is sometimes you need a bit of luck, you need the best of players sometimes and moments of magic. But I think I like the Germany Scotland. It was a really wonderful game. Yeah.
Yeah, in terms of goals, it was.
Yeah.
We need to be rounding off now. England play tomorrow. Come on, 3 Lions. Slovenia, no Serbia. Slovenia. What are you guys saying?
If England does not solve the problems with the balance between, you see, the Real Madrid keeps winning Champions League. Why? Because of balance. There's a balance. Creating the right atmosphere, creating the right shape, creating the right moments for your best players to be able to perform. Saka can be unplayable when you play him in the right way. Harry Kane can be unplayable when you put him in the right way.
But do you think Harry Kane is fit enough for this tournament?
Yes, just like I said.
I'm not sure 100%.
Just like I said. You see, with people like just Bellingham, Harry Kane, Saka, and maybe Foden, I think England should be able to win the Euros, but they won't because they can't find the space. They're number 2.
Looking at the forward, what about the balance? We're talking about the midfield.
Yes, I was about to go to the midfield as well. So when you talk about the midfield, you can't. There are some things that you can't just do. You can't do some things. Alexander-Arnold in that midfield is shambolic. Is a schoolboy experience, a schoolboy thing to do.
The way you're just hammering
this is what I'm saying. Get me right. If Southgate tries this against a proper, I'm not talking about Slovenia, tries this against Italy, Spain, Germany, by God, they will use the baskets to carry their goals home. I'm telling you the truth because they will be overrun. Do you see how Kuruga moves? Do you see how Musiala moves? It's going to be terrible. It's because you are going to leave the Rice exposed. You are going to leave your players. Mind you, in defense as well, they have a fantastic defense. But you know that Gueye is always vulnerable areally. You know that. Very, very vulnerable areally. And they're 3. They're not playing with a natural left back. It's not their fault anyway.
Yeah, we don't have enough.
I don't even have any news on Luke Shaw. Do you guys know if he will be available for the next?
No, he's not yet fit. I don't know. I don't think he's fit yet. I don't think he's fit yet. I really want England to win, but they're not doing a lot of things well. But like O.Phils
Timmy, what would you suggest their starting 11? The match is against Denmark, by the way. Is
Their
them up?
starting level. I would suggest their starting level to be Harry Kane, Gordon, Saka, Declan Rice, and Watson or Mino. Watson or Mino. Then
He's not. Well, anyway, all this thing,
Mino is press resistant. He's a Man U player, but I just have to be truthful. Mino plays like he plays like Clarence Seedorf. This guy is press resistant.
I know.
And then
he's got this pressing going forward.
yes,
So
he's
I'm
press
not sure
resistant. You don't get the ball from him. No,
his IQ with defending IQ. I'm not sure.
we have Declan Rice there. You have Declan Rice there to help. It's not as if
Actually,
he lost.
I don't think they have
hold on,
any midfielder that has better defensive IQ than mine, aside the Paris, like any other midfielder.
Yeah,
Watson is not great
because
defensively
Watson is
either.
not great defensively. Watson is just like Toni Kroos as well. But Watson's pass volumes are very high.
Yeah.
Very, very high.
For me,
That's
I
what
will actually
we're saying
choose
about
him
the
instead of
balance.
Mino.
This team this time, he hasn't got that perfect balance. If you look at it critically.
Yeah, but
Okay.
at the end of the day, you need a double pivot at least. In your double pivot, if you're using, because using Declan Rice as a lone six is crazy. It's crazy, especially against
He
teams
would
that
do
will.
that anyway.
Yeah,
He's
then
always using two.
but then using
Yes.
Alexander Arnold doesn't make any sense to me. It's fine if you use Alexander Arnold as a right back and get him to invert.
What about 8?
Yeah.
Using him like an 8.
8?
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Instead of 6.
He can. The point is, Alexander cannot collect the ball backing an opposition.
He only
can't.
played there once in a major tournament.
We've seen him play it. We've seen him play it in Liverpool as well. He started as
He does it decently, though, for Liverpool. He does it decently.
And I'll tell you why he does it decently. The game style is so different in Liverpool. Liverpool always what's it called? They recycle possession quickly. They collect the ball. Alexander Arnold finds the runner, gives it. They lose the ball immediately. All of them go together aggressively, man to man, to collect the ball. When they don't get the ball, they switch immediately to zonal marking to defend their box. And when they collect the ball again, Liverpool is on the run again. It's metal football. So he suits Alexander Arnold because he doesn't have to do so much. He doesn't have to do so much. But in England, it's different. It's different. You can't do that in a major tournament. That's my point.
So you've chosen your forward, your midfield. Have you given us your backline?
My backline, unfortunately, he has not brought Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire would have been a
To be honest, but go on. Let me.
Yeah,
go on.
but Gueye is not bad as well. Trippier, not bad because Luke Shaw is not fit. Kyle Walker with Paul, what's his name? John Stones.
Did you hear what Ferdinand said about using Saka as left back?
Ferdinand has never been a good player, in my opinion.
For me, the first 11 should be.
How can you use your best winger as a left back? Doesn't make any sense.
Ferdinand he has some funny opinions. Well, for me, the best it to be Pickford, obviously. Then it will be Trippier. Unfortunately, they don't have any left back, and it's crazy. It's very crazy that you don't even have any left back.
But I thought they brought a left back, a young left back.
They didn't.
No, they didn't. The only natural left back is Luke Shaw. He's only natural.
Only Luke Shaw. That's crazy. As big as England as a team
because they were mentioning young people. The guy from Crystal Palace, was it a midfielder? I wasn't sure.
Gray.
Watson is a midfielder.
No, not Gray.
Oh, Watson. Yes, he's a midfielder.
The midfielder.
Left back.
So for me, to be Trippier, Gueye.
Meanwhile, Trippier didn't play badly. He played very well. The left back position.
Yeah, but it can't be like he's not a left back. You get. So for me, it is going to be.
It was Joe Gomez deputizing. They brought
Joe Gomez is also right-footed.
I know. I assume there's another person.
Okay, yeah. So it will be it's going to be Trippier, Gueye, Stones, and Alexander Arnold. I still think they need Alexander Arnold. Then it would be
another thing is Alexander Arnold can play on both left and right.
Really?
Yes.
Left back.
Yes, go and check his
He's done it
previous
before.
games
He's
in
done it
Liverpool.
before.
Yes,
But I don't know.
lots
I
of
don't
times.
trust. Don't try.
No,
Don't do it.
no.
Alex
Not
is
take
Alex
the
is
moment.
Alex is too-footed. Remember,
He is.
Don't
yeah.
do
He
it.
is, but
In
as
fact,
left back,
I would prefer Joe Gomez to play left back than Alexander
honestly,
Arnold because
because
Joe Gomez played
defensively he's
left
going
back
to have big
so
issues.
this
He's
season.
going to have, as much as he can switch play and do all of that attacking wise, but defensively will be a big concern. So I'll put him at right back. I'll put Rice obviously. Then I'll take Watson and Foden.
I don't want to see that Watson.
Then for the attack is going to be, because you have to use proper wingers. Foden is not a winger, so I'll bring him back to midfield. Or okay, that's hard. I'll actually have to leave out No, I'll leave out Foden. I'll leave out Bellingham. Then I'll put I would. For me, he plays in a role that so it will be either he or Foden. For me, it will be either he or Foden. Foden is not a left winger. He's not a winger.
So you prefer to take Foden over
Bellingham, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because against Denmark, they should be looking to control the game. That's the way I'm looking at it. They should be looking to control the game. And Bellingham is good, but he's more of a chaos when everything is free flowing back and forth. You understand? That's where for me. That's the way I
it
see
depends on how you use him actually. If you remember that the last competition that they had, Bellingham was actually one of the guys who made them keep possession. He's capable of doing that.
That would mean you are going to use him as part of the double pivot.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. You can do that. Bellingham can do that and be the box to box, be the
you
eight.
say you're not going to use him
because Foden. Yeah, oh my God! If you use Foden in the midfield,
I could use Rice, but I'll just Rice. Let's say Rice, Bellingham, then Foden, then Gordon, Kane, and Saka.
Well, good luck.
The reason why I think they will need Arnold is like all those kind of passes, because they need Arnold and Saka have very decent chemistry. They have very decent chemistry. He can always be given. Saka can do similar to what Salah does. They don't have any other person that can do that. And if Saka plays and you are not giving him the ball, what's the essence of having Saka? Saka is a very intelligent player. He's not just running in behind. He's also good with the ball to fit. So you can't have Saka and not exploit him. You can't have Gordon and not exploit him. Gordon too is very good at running in behind the defense. He might not be good at holding the ball to fit ball. He's also a decent dribbler. He can create chaos out of nothing. So that's the team I would propose.
I hope you guys are not writing Denmark off totally.
England have to beat Denmark.
They have to. They have to.
Denmark is a good team as well.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough game anyways. It's going to be a tough game.
Oilon, my boy is there. So
at
least I will not mind a goal or two from him.
Prediction for the game.
Predictions for what?
The game.
Well, I see England winning it. 2-1.
I'll say 3-1. I'll just say 2-1. So let me say 3-1.
Another clean sheet.
2-1 or
2-0. Let's go England.
For England?
Yeah.
It's possible. It's possible.
I doubt. Let me see Denmark's team again. It's possible because actually in tournaments, England actually has a very good defense.
Exactly.
Yes.
But they are missing Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire has been their like a stalwart of their defense, and they are missing him. So for me, they'll struggle a bit. There's no way they won't struggle. You can't have someone who has always like been a cog in your defense and you just lose him and you're not struggling. And Denmark is also a decent attacking team, so I'm not sure that they have Oilon, they have Eriksen. Oilon is very good at like running down the channels. We saw him towards the end of the season doing that, so he's very good at that. And they also have other good players as well. They also have Kasper Dolberg, if you remember him.
Yeah.
They have Poulsen, Yusuf Poulsen. They have good players. They have Damsgaard as well. So
yeah, that's the one I want to mention. Damsgaard.
Yeah, so they still have good players who can pose serious threats.
So Poulsen is still
let's see how it
playing.
goes.
He came on.
Yeah.
The other side. Yeah, guys, thank you so much. Well, the last prediction. I know it's early, but who's lifting the trophy?
Well.
We'll go back to this. I'll remind you at the end of the tournament.
It's too early.
If there is not too early, to me, it's not too early. If they are not unlucky, it's between Germany and France.
Those are the favorites. Those are normal.
Obvious. It looks obvious.
I'm not
But
really looking at it based on being favorite. I'm looking at it based on how they have played over the past 3, 4, 5 games and the quality of players that they have and the quality of play. Are they playing as a team? France is still dangerous. The attack is so sharp, so quick, so fast. But
I feel they don't even play as much as a team. They try to exploit their wingers as best as they can.
that has always been the French game.
And well, it works for them because they have deadly wingers. So
yeah, like I said, tactics don't win you games. It's balance, quality players, quality. Germany has the level of technicality in that team is high. So let's see. But you know,
Weird, Musiala,
you know that football sometimes
doesn't always work out.
Yeah. So they can be unlucky in one game and then they're out of the tournament. So, but let's.
That's how crazy knockout football is.
My mind is still saying Italy, but my head is saying England. I'm going with England.
England could be not
British,
win it. We will remember
England.
You can remind me today, but I'm saying England cannot win it.
It's okay. I'll still support them.
Okay.
I'm not. They can. This is a good opportunity for them to win the ball. I don't think it will be possible. They are better organized teams.
The last Euro, I thought it was the better opportunity. It was a better opportunity.
every tournament is
getting there, beating everybody. Come on. So you're going with me, yeah, England?
No. I'll actually go with France. I'll go with France. Even without Mbappe, they are still very dangerous.
Really dangerous.
It's very dangerous. They are very solid in every department. Goalkeeping,
every department, man.
Defense, very solid. They have elite players in every single position, and even in midfield safe. So it's hard to see anything beating them, except Deschamps just does nonsense.
All right, guys.
I would like Portugal to win though. For Bruno Fernandes.
Oh.
Because of Fernandes. I need you guys to see his brilliance
and I thought
an incredible player.
Of Ronaldo.
Well, Kilowatt might be not Ronaldo.
Messi or Ronaldo?
Ronaldo
now. Messi. Anytime.
No. Messi is we're not entering Messi, Ronaldo this next.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
guys, if you're watching, if you're just keep supporting these guys. They will drop their social media and we put it up there. Thank you. Join us again on another episode of Football Today with O.Phils and friends. And up England. Bye.
Hopefully. Bye.